Welcome to yet another video, and if you're not subscribed to this channel, kindly subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything. It's going to elevate this channel so that it can be suggested to other people who are like-minded. In this video, I'm just going to continue in my topic on semen retention, and I'll just tell you a few facts that we are never told when it comes to semen retention and what these things usually entail. Semen retention is a very powerful thing, and it's basically a period of your life or the decision that you make so that you can avoid any forms of fornication, any forms of masturbation, or any form of sexual perversion. So you retain your seed. So that's why it's called semen retention. And it's powerful because these are things that we are not usually told. One of them is it's not just about the physical benefits. Most people go into this because they come from a secular world where you think about it in terms of you want to grow your attraction to females. And I feel like it's not about only improving your physical health or like things like energy or testosterone levels, but it's also deeply tied to the mental, the emotional, and the spiritual growth. When I give you a biblical insight, in the book of Galatians chapter 5, verse 22 to 23, it says, "But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, long-suffering, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. Against such there is no law." So self-control is not only a personal discipline, but it's also a fruit of the Holy Spirit. So when you can control your body, subdue the flesh, and not get into these instances where you just waste your seed, you gain this level of self-control, and it makes your spirit man rise and you become stronger. So it's not only about the physical benefits. The physical benefits will come, but just know that you're also going to have mental benefits. You're going to have spiritual benefits. In terms of mental benefits, you are going to be heightened in terms of understanding things. You're going to be able to decipher a lot that is happening. Most of the people that usually are trapped in this form of wasting their seed usually walk like zombies. They don't understand, or they don't have a heightened form of judgment in terms of things that are happening around them, and they just flow with life. Semen retention will also expose your weaknesses. The reality is that semen retention is not an easy journey, and it forces you to confront your inner struggles, things like lust, lack of discipline, and emotional dependence, because most people usually depend on sexual perversions to fulfill their emotions. But semen retentions will bring all these things to the surface, and you are going to possibly experience a fact where you relapse sometimes. Most people think that it's going to be a straightforward thing, but one thing for a fact, and having practiced this, is you're most definitely going to relapse at some point. And this does not mean that you are the devil or you're of the devil. Basically what it means, it shows you that at that point your flesh man is slightly more powerful than your spirit man, and you get into these processes like fasting where you gain strength in terms of your spirit man, and eventually you're going to subdue the flesh, and self-control will be something that just comes naturally. So it's going to expose your weaknesses, and it's going to bring your weaknesses on the surface, and this will help you to understand yourself better. So you may also face social isolation. We are living in a world where people don't even think about celibacy as something that is possible. People think of instant gratification, and the modern culture usually heavily promotes this indulgence into sexual perversion, into drugs, just things that are going to give you instant gratification. But isolation and semen retention can lead you to can give you like a deepening in terms of your relationship with God, and you will 100% face social isolation. Many people are going to be wondering, like, especially your homies or your friends that you've been hanging out with, especially in the world. People will be wondering, like, what do you mean that you don't want to have sex? What do you mean that you stopped watching porn? So these are things that you'll face, and I encourage you to be aware that it's good that you practice this alone. Do not care about the people around you. Do not care about what agendas they push towards you. And 100%, what I discovered is the devil usually loves using the people around you to trigger you to relapse or go back into fornication maybe. So you'll notice that the time where you decided to get rid of or practice nofap, which means that you are not doing any form of sexual perversion, you'll notice that those are the moments where your friend now throw these parties, invite you to these parties where they expect you to have one-night stands and just indulge yourself into instant gratification. So just know that you're gonna face social isolation. Another thing that we are not told about semen retention is just like any form of self-control or denying your flesh, your spiritual sensitivity will increase. Semen retention is basically just like fasting. It's some sort of fasting, because fasting is taking a period of time to not indulge in the things that usually make your flesh happy, like food, and then you focus more on the spiritual. So semen retention of sorts, or in some way, usually is let's say it's a form of fasting. And it's a form of fasting that you can do for a very long time, because it's not like food. You don't need sex to be alive. For food, you'll probably go for a maximum of 40 days and your body now starts eating itself. But for semen retention, if you're planning to get married in the maybe next 7 years, you can decide not to have sex for the next 7 years. And I know it sounds so hard to do, but it's very possible. And you're going to have your spiritual sensitivity heightened, and you're going to have a reward from that, because God instructs us not to pervert our bodies or to create blemish within our bodies with these forms of sexual perversion. You'll also experience emotional highs and lows, and this is something that I personally experienced. The reality is retaining semen can sometimes amplify your emotions, as the body usually redirects energy in unfamiliar ways. Some days you might feel very euphoric, you're excited, while other days you might feel agitated or restless, and this is just part of the natural process. And it's important to channel this energy positively through prayer. Get into the gym, do some exercise, or do some creative pursuits, because another benefit also of semen retention is that your creativity is going to skyrocket. These are the times where you have ideas that just you wonder where they were hidden during the times where you are still indulging in sexual perversion. So another power that you'll experience is the fact that you'll get that it's unforeseen productivity. And conserving this energy and focusing your mind can often lead you to more productivity in areas like work, in your creativity, in fitness, and many other things that you usually experience. One thing as I finalize that you need to know is it's not about retention. It's about retention. It's not about repression. So most of human beings usually think of semen retention as a way of suppressing these sexual thoughts that you usually have, or urges. But in reality, it's about mastering them. It's not about you'll not be attracted to someone even in a sexual level. But what it is about is you arrest that thought before you can manifest the thought physically, and you become more aware of this. So it's not about suppressing these emotions. We are human beings. God created these feelings within us. And one thing you need to know is you'll experience these thoughts, but it's about retention. Just think about other things when these thoughts come into your mind. Thank you for watching this video. Kindly subscribe if you've not subscribed, and see you in the next video. Cheers.